Hey guys, Melissa Sacco, your Beachbody coach from Make the Change. And this one is for all the people out there who are telling me that their Shakeology tastes funny or they need to change up a recipe and they want to know exactly how I make it, because it's something that I incorporate into my diet every single day. Ever since I started on day one, I have had zero digestion issues, which, coming from a background of being put through the ringer with medical tests, if this is what it's gonna do for me, I am on board 100%, but I want it to taste good. So I always tell my challengers, the way my husband makes his Shakeology is absolutely disgusting for me. It's too thick, he puts in too many different things, and I just don't like it. And on the flip side, my mother also, she adds way too much water and it tastes like a funny aftertaste. So my point is that you have to mix it correctly. So if you want to try to incorporate Shakeology, but you're struggling with the taste and you think it's either gritty or it has a funny aftertaste, you're probably making it wrong. But here's the other part. There's not really a wrong way to do it. It's just wrong for you. So figure out, play with the liquids is my biggest tip on mixing Shakeology. Some people make it with like 8 ounces of liquid, and it's like sludge. It's because it's 70 superfoods. It's not just your, over-the-counter like protein that's full of sucralose and carrageenan and all these other fillers. This is actually food. 70 superfoods, so it produces a much thicker shake than your normal standard, we'll say, protein shake, which this is not, by the way, because I've tried other protein shakes and they didn't make me poop every day. So I will tell you also, the flavor of Shakeology matters for how much liquid you put in. In my opinion, I put more liquid with chocolate than I do with any of the other flavors. So if I'm making cafe latte or strawberry, greenberry, vanilla, I use less liquid in those because they produce a thinner shake. So it's just something to think about. I'm gonna flip you around. I'm gonna show you how I make my shake in like 30 seconds. And then I grab and go and I'm on my way out the door. So another thing that I love about it is it's convenient. I was sick of eating meals in my car, like legit dripping mustard all over myself. Not real classy. So here's how I make my shake, and drop your favorite recipe for yours below so we can start to share ideas, because it's like eating chicken the same way every day. You kind of want to change it up. So if you have a favorite recipe, just put it in the comments and I will try it out. Okay, so what I do is I just measure actually right on the blender. I usually do about 12 to 14 ounces of water and then the rest ice. So about a cup, but I don't know. I'm always around the 24-ounce mark. But again, if I'm using a different flavor of Shakeology, I'm not using chocolate, then I cut that down a little bit because otherwise it's too watery. So I take 1 scoop of chocolate Shakeology, super easy. I take a handful of organic spinach, and the reason I do that is because I have been struggling lately to get my veggies in. I was using kale, but the kale doesn't really chop up as well. It creates like a, I don't know, you get like literally get kale stuck in your teeth. So I switched to spinach. But if you're a person that finds yourself getting constipated, like I used to, this might bind you. So spinach has a lot of iron. Just be careful of something to watch for. It doesn't affect me. So good news for me. And then I take a little tiny little bit of mint extract, pure mint extract. I'm gonna blend this for about 30 seconds and I'll show you how it comes out. Ta-da!